Hi, everyone. My name is Neha, and I'm a product marketing manager in our talent solutions business. And I'm joined by Pohl, who's going to be up on stage shortly. I am really grateful and excited to be here with all of you to tell you a little more about the biggest upgrade to your favorite products, Recruiter and Jobs. We're here to tell you a little more about what this change is, why we made this, what this means for your business, and how you can succeed in your new world. But before I get started, I wanted to pause and take a moment to celebrate and appreciate each of you.
I was at a place where I was unhappy in my career. A recruiter, he found me on LinkedIn. He reached out and helped me. He saw something in me that no one else saw. And that changed everything for my life and my family's life, honestly.
Yes, recruiters change lives. This was the story of one recruiter and one job seeker. But I know that each of you in this room has made a significant difference in the life of every candidate that you've hired. You may have helped someone find their dream remote job so they could have a great career, as well as fulfill their dream of living in the mountains. You may have helped someone make the transition from their corporate job to their ideal nonprofit so they could pursue their passion of working with animals. You may have helped a new college grad find their calling in the field of digital design, something that a new college grad may have never thought of. But one of you knew that by looking at their profile and having that first conversation. That's the magic recruiters bring into people's lives. Now, I want to tell you the story of how a recruiter changed my life too. I spent the first 8 years of my career in different industries and roles trying to find that perfect home, trying to find that job where I could challenge myself, put my strengths to work, but also make an impact in a way that aligned with my values. A few years back, I was in a different role at LinkedIn, and to be honest, I was unhappy and stuck and unsure of where to pivot my career. So I decided to go back to my roots of being an engineer. I was taking a data programming class and put it on my profile. A recruiter found me for a product marketing role at a big data company, and I got the job. When LinkedIn found out I was ready to leave to go do something else, they found a way to keep me back home and make the transition to product marketing. And I absolutely love my job today. But I don't think I could be standing here and sharing this story with all of you had it not been for that recruiter who found me, who saw the potential in me, and convinced a hiring manager to have that first conversation. So that's a picture of my kids. I just told you I love my job. I really do love my job. But there absolutely are days when I'd rather be with them at a beach building sandcastles. And one of the top reasons that brings me back to work every morning, besides the incredible team I get to work with, is being part of a solution that helps amplify the impact that each of you make in the world. The impact you make in the lives of candidates, but more importantly, in the lives of the organizations that you hire for. Raise your hands if you like to spend your time sifting through that big pile of resumes. Or going to the 18th page of your search results, or spending countless hours looking through unqualified applicants. I don't think any hand is going to go up. Now raise your hand if you'd rather spend that time doing things that you're great at, things that you love, which is engaging with candidates, building relationships with them, and ultimately creating winning teams. Imagine for a moment if you could come to LinkedIn and tell us who you're looking to hire. And we could learn from you, your intelligence, your experience, and all the work that you've done on Recruiter and Jobs for a specific role, and combine that with our rich member data to help you find that perfect hire more effectively, faster. What if I told you that you did not have to imagine this, that this major transformation was already underway?
Okay. Sorry you had to see that. Hi, everyone. My name is Jonathan Pohl, and I'm the product manager on this launch. And I'm incredibly excited to be here with all of you today to talk about how the new Recruiter in Jobs will make each one of you more successful. As Neha mentioned, this is the biggest upgrade to our Recruiter in Jobs product since they first launched over 10 years ago. To help you understand what I mean when I say that, we have over 100 engineers, designers, and other product folks who've been working on this latest release over the past 2 years. And along the way, they've spoken to hundreds of customers like you to understand what your biggest challenges are. And they've taken all those learnings and used it to rebuild our products so that we can ultimately help you get from hundreds of candidates to the right candidate faster and better serve your daily needs. At the heart of this new version is a very simple idea. We're taking all of our products, Recruiter, Jobs, and Pipeline Builder, and we're making them one product so that they can work better together. In doing this, we've simplified workflows and we've added over 15 new features to help increase your productivity, help you better collaborate with your hiring teams. And most important, with this increased connectivity, our products are able to start to learn from one another so that you can achieve better results with less effort. In a nutshell, everything is learning from everything in this new version. That means that when you save a candidate from your search results, we're going to use that information to update the targeting for your job so that we're making sure that we're attracting the right candidates. And when you respond to an applicant that you like, we're going to use that to update search rankings so that when you go to your search results, you're going to see better candidates at the top of your list. All of this is improved, but the new experience should feel familiar. So you should feel right at home running a search or posting a job from day one. And this intelligence extends to our members as well. Unlike job boards, we understand our job seekers. They're LinkedIn members, and there are over 640 million of them as I speak. We know their backgrounds, we know their skills, and increasingly we know what they're looking for in their next role. Maybe they're looking to gain a new skill so that they can make a transition like Neha did, or maybe they're just looking for a shorter commute or the opportunity to work remotely. We know all of these signals, and we can bring them together to surface them to you so that you can find the right candidate faster. Now, we know a lot of you are already in the midst of this upgrade. To all of you, to the thousands of people who've provided feedback already, I want to give a huge and heartfelt thank you for all of your feedback. We truly could not build this new version without your voice, so please keep it coming. So, instead of just talking about this, we'd like to take a minute to actually show you what's coming with the new experience. So let's dive in.
Cool. So let's assume I'm looking to hire a product manager for our San Francisco office. This is the new homepage that you're seeing up on top. And as you're seeing, it's very heavily focused on projects. So you're seeing your projects front and center. And that's primarily to help you pick up the last project that you were working with. And I'll be spending some time in the next few minutes telling you why we want you to start working within a project. But for now, let's assume we're getting started. This is our homepage. We have projects front and center. And then on the left side, you see a place which says provide feedback. So you have the ability to share your profile of a candidate you're working with your hiring manager, and you'll be able to see what's happening there. And similarly, once feedback comes in, you can see what that feedback looks like. Search is still going to be available on our homepage. You see search at the top. Right next to it, you see the message window, or the message icon, so you can access your messages. You can see notifications right next to it. And then finally, you see that the question mark sign, which helps you access the Help Center and Learning Center, which again has a ton of resources to help you succeed. So let's get started. I said I'm looking to hire a product manager in our San Francisco office. So I click on projects and I create a project for this role. So I go in, I enter the project name, I enter my job title, which is a product manager. And here, one fun thing. So as soon as I enter my basic information, you start seeing insights on the right. So that's one first step where we're giving you better data, more insights, trying to make you smarter. so you have better information on your available talent pool for that role. Scrolling down, you have the ability to set your project setting to private or public. In this case, I'm setting it to be private. I just want to collaborate with a few people on my team. I'll be able to add them once I have the basics set up. So I click Create Project. That goes and creates my project. So I can see that there are people that are showing up. My search is already populated based on the basic information I just entered within my project. I can always go and refine my search, which we'll come back to. But as I'm scrolling through, looks like I really like my fourth candidate, Chris. So I'm going to click Save, and that's going to add Chris into my pipeline. So Chris is now into my pipeline. And we can then go back to my talent pool. So that's where I'm searching. And I want to refine my search. So we have moved some of your favorite filters. Remember, many of you like open to new opportunities. It's one of our most popular features. We've intentionally moved it to our left rail. So you see spotlights. And again, the reason we moved it from your top rail to your left rail is so that you can select more than one spotlight. That was a piece of feedback we'd get often from our customers, that you want to select someone who's open to new opportunities, but also has company connections. Or if you want to select if you want to select one or the other, now you have that ability with everything being available on your left rail. So let's go ahead and click Open to New Opportunities and people who've engaged with your talent brand. So now my search results are refined as it shows me people who are open to who are either open to new opportunities or have engaged with my talent brand, or even both.
Cool. Thanks for getting us started, Neha. So let's say for this role, I also want to add a job posting to the role to help really open up that talent pool and attract even more qualified applicants. So you can see right now, I'm in my recruiter search tab, but I have the option right next to it to go ahead and post a job directly within my project. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And you can see we're still within the project. So we have that project that Neha created, the project name right at the top, Project Manager San Francisco. The rest of this form is going to look pretty familiar to you, but I want to call out a few differences. So one, we've taken all that information that you already entered, your job title, location, seniority level, and brought it over to your job post, just to cut down on clicks. The second that I want to call out is under location. So within location, this is actually one of the exciting features that we're bringing to new recruiter and jobs. We've heard from a lot of you that you want the ability to specify when a role is open for remote work, both to really open up your talent pool and make sure that you're attracting the right candidates. So in this case, I'm open to remote work for this job, so I'm going to go ahead and click This is a remote job. And as I scroll down, you can see that because I have my job title entered, LinkedIn's gone ahead and recommended a job description that looks good. I can also add skill keywords to help further refine the targeting for my job post. And all of this is looking good, so I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the bottom and click Continue. So this brings us to another exciting feature in the updated recruiter and jobs, screening questions. So we now have the ability to add screening questions to all of your job posts. This is just another way that we're helping you get from hundreds of candidates to the right one more quickly by making sure that your qualifications, the ones that you most care about for that role, are front and center and really integrated into that applicant experience. So in this case, for my product manager role, I want to make sure that they have some relevant work experience. So I'm going to go ahead and click Work Experience. I'm going to go ahead and select the type of work experience I want, product management work experience, and the minimum number of years that I want, so 4 years. I have the option, as I'm adding all of these screening questions, to make them either required or preferred. In this case, this is a requirement, so I'm going to go ahead and mark it as that. And then the other thing I want to do is I'd also prefer applicants for this role to have a bachelor's degree. So I'm going to come up to education, I'm going to go ahead and choose the type of degree. And this one is more of a preference. So ideally, folks would have a bachelor's degree. If not, that's fine. Now, the other cool thing with these screening questions is that I can enable notifications so that I'm immediately notified if somebody comes through who meets all my requirements. So when that perfect candidate comes through the door, you can act on it quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle that on. And then I also have the option of automatically rejecting candidates who don't meet my qualifications. We heard Monica talk a lot during the keynote about that feeling from not hearing back. And so there are a few things we're doing in this new experience to really help make sure that we're not leaving any jobs, any applicants hanging. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that off for now and move on to the next step. So finally, there are some options for me to enhance my jobs. I can add my profile to the job post. I can add a tracking ID. I can also specify different benefits that we're going to offer along with this role, as well as specify a compensation range. So all of this looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and click Finish, which now brings me to the Applicants tab.
So this was one way of setting up your project, and we showed you how you can link your job, add your job posting to the project. But we know that many of you have your own existing workflows today, and not everyone starts their workflow with a project. Some of you like to start with a search, some of you like to start with a job. So we've not changed that. We still want to give you the ability to be able to do that. So I'm going to now show you how you can start your workflow with posting a job first. So we can go back to our homepage, and we can show you how you can get started with posting a job. Great, so we click on jobs, I click on post a job, and just as we've seen before, this whole workflow is going to look similar. It's very similar to what we just showed you. You enter your project name. So in this case, I can either create a new project or I can pick an existing project. I'm choosing to create a new project here. And then location, title, all of this is just what we went through. So we hit continue. I can add screening questions. I'm going to keep the same screening questions, same ways to boost my job post, and I click finish. So now it brings me back to that project. Of course, we don't have any applicants because we just set up the job, so it shows me as 0 applicants. But as applicants keep coming in, they all come into this project. And if you click on the Recruiter Search tab, you'll also have the ability to refine your search. So if you think of it, your search and your job is now all resting within this same project. So now the question that we often get is like, well, why did LinkedIn make this change? Like, why did we want to add search and jobs within this one project? Like, I don't want to do this. Why are you doing this to me? So first things first, we're doing this really for you. We want to make sure that you can get more out of our products by having everything live in one place. And what that means is 2 things. One is, as you look through your search results and your pipeline and you start saving people, everything goes into one pipeline. So you don't have to go into 2 different places to find and manage your candidates. So it's all within one place. But here's where there's real more magic that's coming your way with having everything be in one project. So if everything is now contained within one project, we can better understand the role that you're looking for. So in this case, I'm trying to hire a product manager. I now have more data to better understand what you're looking for. What is the role that you're trying to fill? Who are the types of candidates who are going to engage with your company for this role? So let me show you tactically what that means, or let me tell you tactically what that will mean. Let's say you get 50 applicants, you like 10 of them, you're not engaging with the remaining 40. We can now learn what is unique and special about those 10 applicants who you're engaging with and start showing you more people like that in your search results. Similarly, let's say you had a pipeline of 40 people, you emailed 30, you emailed all 40 of them, 30 of them respond back to you. We can then learn, okay, these are the 30 people who Neha as a recruiter likes, and these are the people who are responding back. Let's start targeting this job to more people like those 30 people. So really, again, we're coming back to our core promise, which is helping you find that right candidate with the least amount of effort. So that's how, and that's why we're linking projects with our search and our job posting all together. But I'm not done. Here's another fun feature we're building for you, which is called recommended matches. Recommended matches is, think of recommended matches as a bonus list of 25 people that you can reach out to that we've built based on the work you're doing with your search and your job applicants. This is a brand new list. These are not people you've seen before within your search results. And this list is refreshed every day. And the more you engage with your project, the more people you engage with within your search, your applicants, and even within recommended matches, the more people you save and hide, we're again learning from you. And we're learning from you and making your results better. And again, as I pointed out in the beginning, we have the technology, but you know your candidates best. You know your company best. You know your business best. So we're really taking everything we can learn from you to give you more time back in your day. Oh, another fun story here. So recommended matches, we had a customer who was part of the charter program, and she was trying to fill she had a hard to fill role that she was trying to fill. And she shared with us that she found her top candidate at the top, in her recommended matches list. She hired the candidate is thriving, and she told us that this really helped her save time and work smarter. I was on the call with that customer, and I could just see how much value she was getting and how efficient and effective she was feeling by finding more people within this list.
Yeah, if you want to know how to make an AI engineer smile, it was like that story exactly, that you could just see the team beaming after Neha brought it back. So awesome to see a lot of this intelligence starting to already deliver value to our customers. So I want to talk a little bit more. We talked about it already, but Monica mentioned it during the keynote. Really, applicants not hearing back. We know it's a problem that our members care about. We know it's a problem you guys care about, that ultimately, if you had the time, you would respond to every candidate. And so this new version, we're trying to make it even easier for you guys to do that, try to save time and make sure that you're never leaving an applicant hanging. So going back to my applicants, let's take a look. Let's say that Fred, for example, is not a great fit for this role. So I'm going to go ahead and select Fred, and I'm going to go up and choose the option reject. So I can either click a bunch of people and bulk reject, or I can reject folks individually, but we're going to go through the flow where we're just rejecting Fred. So you can see at the top, the first thing we're going to ask you is why you rejected this applicant. So in this case, let's say the candidate didn't meet basic qualifications. And an important thing to note here is that rejection reasons are totally private. They're never going to be shared with Fred. They're really for you to keep track of why you rejected a specific candidate, and for us to actually learn from the reason that you rejected that candidate so we can better target your job posting. And then going back really quickly, we can also, once we've selected the rejection reason, I can also go ahead and specify a notification, send a rejection notice to Fred. So I can go ahead and customize this however I want. In this case, I'm just going to go with the default response, thank you for your interest, and I'm going to go ahead and click reject and notify. So what this will do is send an email to Fred from LinkedIn with that rejection note. It's not going to deduct from your email credits or anything like that. It's just a notification to make sure that we're closing the loop. So on to the next feature. So let's go back to my recruiter search. I've spent some time on my applicants. I'm ready to resume some passive sourcing. I'm back in my search results. Another feature we want to point out, this is one that folks have really been giving a lot of praise for in the new experience, is our new slide-in profiles. So if I'm looking at my results, Saeed looks like a good candidate. I want to look at their profile to get a little bit more context. So you'll see clicking on the profile is actually going to slide in the full profile from the right-hand side. And folks are really liking this because all of this information, his profile is now on the screen, but you can see sitting right behind it is still my search, so that I'm not losing my place in my search results as I'm starting to go through candidates in that list. And you can see all the information that I need to know about Saeed, his profile information, project information, messages from my colleagues, everything is located right there. I can also go ahead and scroll through my candidates. So if I click on the arrow at the top, I can go and check out Daisy Andrews, the next person on the list. And then Neha is going to talk a little bit more about some of our collaboration features.
Great. Yeah. So in this new version, you also have the ability to tag people and add notes to really collaborate better with your team members. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So in this case, when I look at Bruce's profile, I see that I have been tagged, and Kevin's asked me what I think of this candidate. I think he's great, so I'm going to respond. And that's, again, one way of how you can collaborate better with your team members and tag people who have recruiter seats, including people who have hiring manager seats. So that's one feature that helps you collaborate better. The other thing that, again, we heard your feedback. You know, think of the times when you've probably reached out to a candidate, but someone on your team had already reached out to them. So we wanted to solve that problem for you to make sure that there is continuity and context, and you can see that the messages that other people on your team have sent candidates. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So I like Ray. I want to engage with Ray, but I want to see, did anybody from my team already engage with Ray? So I click on her profile, and I can click on messages, and I see that Jamison on my team had last engaged with her. So I can now click on the message and see what Ray and Jamison had engaged with. Looks like Ray was interested. She said, I'm not looking right now. You can reach out to me in a few months. So looks like timing might be right. That was June, it's September now. Let me check back in. So I can send a message to Ray. I can tell her you had connected with my colleague. I'm just picking up that conversation back up. And here's the fun part. So you were able to see that message because that message had a setting set to public or everyone in my project. So now you'll have the option when you're sending a message, whether you want to make it private just to yourself, to people within that project, or to everyone within your contract. So in this case, I'm going to say anyone in my organization can review this email. So I can go ahead and I send the email. So that's how you can see what the history looks like, just to have better continuity. But we know that collaboration does not just stop with your team. And many of you like to collaborate with your hiring managers. So let's take a look at what that new hiring manager flow is going to look like. So let's say I like Saeed. I want to share his profile with my hiring manager. I click share, and I have the option of sharing this with my hiring manager. So I can share the profile with Justin. I can ask Justin to give me his 2 cents. I can share it back with Justin. Great. So now everything that I hear from Justin is going to be within Saeed's profile. So I click on Saeed's profile, and I click on interview and feedback, and I can see what I heard back from Justin. So again, everything's contained within that profile, making it easier for you to track things. Cool. Okay, so that was a lot of product innovation coming your way. But don't just take our word for it. Let's take a look at what people who already have access, what they have to say about these new features. So we have some more stories from customers. Jason and Mr. Cooper tells us that it kind of drives me, like I'm on autopilot. This version moves fast, and it's definitely an advantage. Samantha at Sunrise Technologies told us that the UX is just so much better, cleaner, and less clunky to get to where you need to go. And I love being organized in projects. And Caesar at Gap told us that the new version is very easy to use. As soon as I utilized it like I did before. I was surprised at how easy it was to navigate based on the training that we had.
Perfect. So that's a little bit of what we have today, but this is really the start of an exciting journey that we're embarking on by bringing all of our products together. We want to spend a little bit of time talking to you about what some of those exciting next steps are going to look like. So first off, starting with our mobile app. You heard about it during the keynote. This is actually holds a special place in my heart because this was the first project I got to work on at LinkedIn. And I'm really excited about this. It's a complete rebuild of the mobile app. We've really rebuilt the messaging experience from the ground up so that it's easier to respond to candidates quickly. And we've refocused the entire app around projects so that you can pick up where you left off and resume sourcing while you're away from your desk. And if you combine the mobile app with some of the intelligence that we talked about around recommended matches, you can imagine a world where as soon as that perfect candidate comes through, you're getting notified right away and can act on them quickly. So we think that this is going to help accelerate the hiring workflow for a lot of you guys. The second thing I want to talk about is talent insights. So we talked about how all of our products are coming together into one product. Talked a lot about what that means for Recruiter and Jobs specifically, but that also extends to our newest product, LinkedIn Talent Insights. So if you're a Talent Insights customer, what you'll start seeing is those talent insights integrated directly within your project. So that means when you start sourcing for a new role, you'll be able to toggle over quickly to your insights to bring all of the data that we have about the talent pool that you're building into your hiring conversations to inform your decisions. The last thing I want to mention is assessments. So we know that skills are incredibly important to a lot of your hiring decisions, but it's not always easy to tell what skills a candidate actually possesses looking at their LinkedIn profile. That's why we're launching skill assessments. Actually, you already heard about it in the keynote. So we're seeing incredible traction around this feature where we already have 2 million people who've taken this today. So what skill assessments allow members to do is to actually go take standardized assessments for a specific skill, and use that to then showcase that skill and validate that they actually know it on their LinkedIn profile. And what it means for you is that you're able to see whether a candidate has actually passed the skill when you're reviewing them in your search results or in your applicants.
Cool. So there's a lot of goodness coming your way, and we want to make sure that you're both supported and prepared through this major upgrade. We really want to be there with you at every step along the journey to make sure you're set up for success. So here's what you can expect from us. In the months and weeks leading up to your launch date, you can expect a lot of communications from us. First and foremost, you will be receiving emails from us, including an email on the day of your launch so that you know you're getting access. Second, we're also going to have an in-product banner giving you a countdown of when you're going to get access. So that's another thing you can expect from us. And then we have a really amazing website that has all the information you need, including a bunch of recorded webinars that you can access at your own convenience. Once you get inside the product, we have robust onboarding built in. We also have an in-product demo. So you can go in, just get a quick sneak peek into all of the stuff that's already built in. We also have a step-by-step guide in our website, and we also have a bunch of tutorials and videos in our Learning Center. And finally, please reach out to your account teams. They're really here for you to succeed. They're really here for you to succeed, and you're welcome to reach out to customer support teams, customer service teams to really help you make sure you have all the information you need. So now we're going to switch gears and do something fun. We have spoken to thousands of you. Our account teams have spoken to several of you. In the 2 days that we've been here, we've had a chance to talk to several customers. And there are lots of questions that we've gotten. So we have compiled the top questions that we've heard from you. And Jonathan and I are going to play a fun quiz. We're going to quiz each other on the top questions that we've gotten from our customers to, again, make sure you have all the information right when you leave. OK, thank you. This is real. OK. Jonathan, first things first. Why do we make these changes?
Good question. So first and foremost, we did all of this to make you more successful. So we brought all of our products together and taken a more project-centric approach to the new version to really improve the relevance and the targeting across all of our products. Again, with the idea of trying to make it easier for everyone to find the right candidate faster. So follow on to that last question. Why is the new workflow so project-centric?
So I did touch upon this when we were doing the demo, but I want to repeat this because that's really the core and the crux of why we made this change, which is we wanted everything to be project-centric so that you have everything organized in one place, and you can tell us who you're looking to hire so we can help all of our products work better together. So you're really getting the most out of your investment. So this is, I want to also add that this is an area where for people who haven't been using projects, this can feel like a change. This is going to feel different, but I would really encourage you to stay patient, explore the resources that we have, and once you overcome the learning curve, for those of you who haven't been using projects, we're seeing a lot of wins, a lot of value that our customers are getting. So I hope all of you are also successful with the new projects experience. Your turn, kind of building up on that, what is the relationship between jobs and projects in the new world?
Yeah, so like Neha mentioned, we're bringing all of our sourcing channels into one umbrella, which is projects moving forward. So your recruiter search, your jobs, your pipeline builder leads, they're all going to live within a project. So that means in this new version, when you go to post a job, we're going to automatically create a project around it so that when you go to your talent pool, you can add a search to it. You can view those recommended matches that Neha called out. Really, the entire talent pool will be there for you within one project, and you can source and manage together. We are on to, I don't have access yet. What are 3 things I need to know to make myself and my team more successful?
So as we mentioned, we are continuing to ramp. We've ramped to several customers, and we're going to continue to ramp for the next several months, which means some of you have access, some of you will be getting access through this year and also into early next year. So what are some things you can do right now, and what are things you should keep in mind as your teams start getting access? So first things first, what we've seen so far is everyone learns differently. Some people just like to go into the product, click a few buttons, and then just figure out, OK, this is what my project is. This is where my spotlights have moved. Some people want to sit down, watch the webinar. Some people want to talk to their account team. So no matter what your style, know that we have resources. I showed you a bunch of things. We have the website, we have webinars, we have things in the product. Our account teams are very well trained on this. Just know that whatever your style, resources are available, and you can start plugging in. Second, I would say for all of you who are here, who you're learning about this, go back and tell your teams. If you're managing a team, let your recruiters know this is coming. Go tell your peers. And the reason I bring that up is what we've seen so far is customers who knew this was coming, who had a heads up, who were checking their emails, who were watching the in-product banners, they were more set up to succeed because they knew this was coming. If you're caught off guard, that's when there can be a steeper learning curve. So you're here, you're learning about it, tell your peers, open the emails, check the in-product banners, watch our webinars, ton of resources to, again, make you successful. And the third thing is if you're not using projects right now, it's a great time to start using projects. So when you receive the new version, you already know how to work in projects, and it's just going to be smoother and simpler for you. Okay, so what if I'm just a recruiter user and don't have jobs? What's in it for me?
Good question. So we've been talking a lot about how our products are better together, but a lot of the changes that we've gone through apply equally if you're just a recruiter customer or just a jobs customer. So a lot of the intelligence, things like recommended matches, you're going to see regardless of what channels you're using. And then all of the tools that we talked about to increase your productivity, things like slide and profile, as well as things to improve your collaboration across your team, you'll see those as well. So things like app mentions and notes. So really, we want to make this new experience better for everyone. On to Neha, good product marketing question. How much does this cost?
Any guesses? So this is available to all of you free of cost. This is an upgrade that's automatically going to hit all of you. And again, you don't have to click anything to get into the new version. You don't have to download anything. We're going to make this available to all of you over the next few months if you don't have access. And again, I want to point out that we've touched on this a couple of times. This is the biggest upgrade we've made to our products since launch. And we want to make sure that we're committed to your success, to innovating in our products. And this is just a demonstration of that. We really want you to be more successful, and we're going to continue innovating. And this is going to be available to you at no additional cost. My turn. When will people get access? So for those of us who don't have access.
For those of you who don't have access, so like Neha mentioned, this is a major upgrade to our product, so we wanted to be really intentional about the way that we're rolling this out. So we've actually been ramping to customers starting November, so almost a year ago at this point. So we're trying to be very intentional, and part of that is to make sure that for specific customers who have specific features that they use in the product, that we have all those features up to 100%, and part of that is to make sure that our account teams are able to fully support everybody. So we want to make sure that there's space for every customer to get the resources that they need to help them through this transition. So if you don't have access today, you should be seeing this new version roll out over the next couple of quarters. So really between now and the end of March. And again, going back to what Neha pointed out, so you'll be getting notified ahead of time from your account team. You'll also see things within the product. So we want to make sure that nobody's getting caught off guard. So you can also look for those cues.
Jonathan, you get a bonus question. What happens if I run into issues? What are my options?
You will run into no issues. If you run into issues, so first and foremost, reach out to your account teams, leverage them, and make sure that we're creating a support ticket and funneling information back through them. That really helps us make sure that we really understand the core of what's going on, because our commitment is to make sure that we're resolving issues as quickly as possible, and that's really the key to helping us do that. So we want to make sure that nothing is getting in the way of your daily workflow and what you need to get done. The second thing that you can do is within the product, Neha called out the help icon. So that's another great place to go if you need help. Many of you will have phone support there. You'll also be able to see the option to chat with the support representative immediately within that experience. So that's a great place if you have just quick questions around, hey, I'm not noticing this in the product, that you can all go to just get a quick answer around things. And I think this is off to you for the last question. So there are a lot of conversations, Neha, around AI with this new upgrade. How can you ensure that we are accounting for diversity and not just hiring people who are similar to us or those who work in our organization?
Yeah, as much as I like Jonathan, I don't want more Jonathans on my team.
Yeah.
So thank you for that question, and thank you to all of you for bringing up that question. I really think it's so amazing that we're having that conversation in this room. And I want to point out a couple of things when we think of diversity and the new upgrade. First and foremost, I want to ensure all of you that we're very committed to this. I mean, you've heard Jeff talk about it. Our mission, our vision is to create economic opportunity for every member of the workforce. And we truly want to do our best. That means we do have engineers and product managers and additional teams working on diversity at LinkedIn. So it's a priority for us. But I want to share two specific things. One is what we've done as we think of recruiter search. So many of you are probably aware of this. But recruiter search now, when we think of gender and gender diversity, each page on the recruiter search results actually represents what the gender breakdown is for that specific role in the talent pool. So for example, if you're looking to hire sales managers and if the talent pool is divided such that X% are women, every page of our search result will now have X% of women for that specific role. So, no matter what your search criteria is, we want to make sure we are presenting a representative view of the market within each page. So that's something we're going to continue investing here as well. But the other thing when we think about AI and diversity is, there are instances where AI can sort of perpetuate or accentuate the human bias. So we're aware of that, and that's just not something to LinkedIn. We have that conversation across lots of different products where that conversation is happening. But the other thing that's very interesting is AI can also help reduce human bias. So I'm going to play a game here. All of you recruit. I mean, think of the schools that if you had to type into your search, like what are some of the schools that you think of? Like actually tell me names of schools that you hire from. More, thank you. More, right? So we all have our schools that we go and type into our search. But we also know that good candidates don't just go to these schools. And that's where AI can come in. AI can help expand our talent pool when we think of schools and recognize that schools and universities is just one data point out of many other data points to really help present back to you a much more diverse group of candidates. So that's something that's very intentionally being built into our algorithm so that we don't just find people from the 5 universities your team already has already on your team. So that's our commitment to you when we think of diversity. Okay, we're coming to the end. So we've shared a lot of product information with you. But if you pause and think about it, it's really not about our products. It's really about you. And it's about the impact each of you make in the world. And to be honest, our products are just one tool in your toolkit. So as we come to the end of our section, I really want to take us back to where we started. We're going to watch something together.
I've always been curious. I love learning. I work in technology, and after work, I'm learning to cook at a restaurant. When I was looking for jobs on LinkedIn, I found a company that would support my passions outside of work. I hit apply, I heard back from the recruiter, and here I am. I want to have a lot of stories, tried a lot of different things. This job, it was exactly what I was looking for.
So I love the last line. This job was exactly what I was looking for. You can see the joy in his eyes in this picture and the sense of purpose and meaning that comes when you find that right opportunity. And none of that is possible without the incredible work that each recruiter does to realize millions of dreams like these. So I'm going to end with this beautiful quote by Bill Gates. I believe that every life is valuable, that we can make things better, that innovation is the key to a bright future, that we're just getting started. And I really believe we're just getting started. And each of you in our recruiting community has a very important role to play. And I can't wait to see what we all accomplish together. Thank you.